Okay, so let's start our second class today. And today we are in episode number 5. So this class is also a series um, that the pain body and its different dimension and how does it work and why this is so important to understand in our life. And this is the topic which nobody has told us and no teacher told me about, no media or any author or writer was able to communicate about this very foundational and important part of my life. And maybe I'm a victim, or because of me, somebody is a victim of this pain body. So I have to understand this. So, therefore, we are arranging this online lifelong study circle which helps to create a new life by filling those gaps which remain unfulfilled from our childhood till now. And if you have missed the previous classes for this topic of this subject of pain body, I have dedicated and created a list on my YouTube channel, so you can go and subscribe the YouTube channel and also watch the playlist. Last time, the last week, we actually learned about this, the birth of emotion, that the how the birth of emotion happens, and that was a very important discovery we did, and we knew that we are packet of emotions, and I mean we cannot remain without emotion. All the time we are expressing any emotion, or we are noticing emotion from someone, like wherever I'm talking about, where I'm interacting, or even if I'm thinking about myself, the main thing which I'm considering about myself when I say I, that also have an image of some emotion about me as well. For example, if I'm happy, if my soul is happy and I'm thinking something in my mind, that the word I is actually is an emotional feeling as well about that I'm feeling relaxed or I'm feeling happy. Or if I'm sad or if I'm so angry, then the feeling of I is also is a reflection of what was in my mind, or what is in my mind as well, or at least in a memory of something which bad happened, and that which has made me angry, or have a negative feeling. So that was an emotion we did. But now today we will discuss specifically that what is the connection between that emotion and my ego. The the last time we learned about what was emotion, how emotions are generated through words, through thoughts, and sometimes thoughts are generated through emotion, and the emotions are the body reaction, uh, and that body shows in result of what we are thinking, consciously or unconsciously. But today we will specifically learn about that what is the relationship between ego, my ego, and emotion. But remember, what we have concluded that my ego does not exist. But the irony or tragedy is I still controlled by my ego, which is a deception. So it is a human being crisis that as long as we are living this world with the life, we all the time is controlled by a deceptive thing which is called ego. And unfortunately that ego has established a link with my emotional state. So irony is on the top. So in reality, ego does not exist. It only our imagination which make me as a egoic person. It's my egoic mind make me as a egoic person. And how my egoic mind made me my egoic mind, because I'm not consciously aware that I'm a soul. I'm not consciously aware that I'm a conscious. I'm not consciously aware that I'm a reflection of God. I'm not aware that about the fact that I'm something superior uh, and alone, but I'm not aware that. So because of these ambiguous, or actually what we call it, we this truth has been hidden from me by my egoic mind. That's why I feel that my ego is as a truth. That, and we think in our world that as long as any person has an ego, he or she will stay alive. More ego, more you will stronger. That's the wrong teaching have been told by my society, by myself, or by my egoic mind. And we are trying to understand that if I have been learned a bad teaching, then what is the right teaching? Then what is the truth? That's we focusing here in very, very detailed thing. That topic will not make you rich. That topic will not make you a beautiful person in the world. It's nothing to do with any get quick rich scheme or something like. This topic will give you the true awareness and leading you towards truth of life. Whether you are interested or not, whether you care it or not. But remember, if I will not care about the truth, does not matter on the truth. It will be problem for me that I will live in deceptive life all the time. I will be living a liar life. I'm telling me lies from last 40 years when I start to grow that I am this, and this is this. All are nonsense. Unfortunately, I have been spoon feeding to myself. My parents have spoon feeding me. My teachers have spoon feeding me. My media, my culture, everyone is spoon feeding me, because far away from the truth we all have been. And the classes of this is the classes these classes is with the effort to help you, to help myself to stay and go closer to the truth, whether I like it or not, whether it made make me an offensive feeling or not, whether it either reject myself, my wrong, my false self, I believe, or not, is entirely. So that's why these teachings are so foundational and so important for me. And that is a commitment you have to do, uh, whether we want to know this truth or not. When the Jesus Christ was communicating or telling the people about something, same thing in a different way, about the truth, closer to the truth and something. I don't remember the verses from the Bible. People on that time who were connected with power and ego and money and lust and whatever, all people start to deny him. All people start to give up biggest resistance to Jesus Christ. This is a fight between that mentality of egoic mindset, the falsehood, and truth from thousands of years till now. And we have to understand that still we aligned with Jesus? Still, we need to know, are we aligned with our Lord? Whether I call my Lord as God or Allah or Krishna or anything. But the main message is to know the truth, have this awareness, and get out from my egoic body and egoic self, which is a false self, to the true self. That is the effort which I'm making for myself, and I'm inviting you to think about. Just think about, yeah. It will not make you rich, but I will guarantee you it will make you more peaceful. It will more create a resilience in you, more calmness inside you, and more joyful to you. That I promise to you. It's ball is in your hand. What you want to do with the ball? So let's start with our today's reading about this topic. We have around 5-6 paragraph, and shouldn't be take longer. And so let's start it. So I would ask my colleague Jenny if she can start reading this, please, about emotion and the ego.
The ego is not only the unobserved mind, the voice in the head which pretends to be you, but also the unobserved emotions that are the body's reaction to what the voice in the head is saying. We have already seen what kind of thinking the egoic voice engages in most of the time, and the dysfunction inherent in the structure of its thought processes, regardless of content. This dysfunctional thinking is what the body reacts to with negative emotion. The voice in the head tells a story that the body believes in and reacts to. Those reactions are the emotions. The emotions, in turn, feed energy back into the thoughts that created the emotion in the first place. This is the vicious circle between unexamined thoughts and emotions, giving rise to emotional thinking and emotional story making.
Excellent. It's a good reading. Look, if I start to speaking on this only what Eckart Tolle has mentioned here, I can speak around many hours. But I will confine myself only to the literally and some secret meaning of what the text of written by Eckhart Tolle. You know the how many words or thinking or text we think in our mind in a day. So some researches or a popular research says we use we have usually 90,000 thoughts in a day. An average person think all the time, and all the time we are thinking, and we claim that I'm very confident. We claim so bogusly that I have control on myself, and I use word I, you know. I'm speaking sarcastically about to me. I, like I'm a god and I have a whole control on me. You have even a single 1% control. You don't have. Don't lie to you. Don't lie yourself. Can you stop your thinking right now? Can you take a moment in the whole 24 hour when you stop your mind to think anything? Even you are in a dream. You cannot, because your egoic mind will not allow you to do this, because you are alive because of your egoic mind, and these continuously generate factory of generating thoughts in the mind, unconsciously or unconsciously. That's how we have been trained from last thousands of years, unfortunately. So what happens when I think uncontrollably? Either I'm thinking something consciously or unconsciously, and 99% which my brain is processing is unconsciously. Like even I'm thinking something, on the background it is thinking something. And that thinking is called dysfunctional thinking. And when this dysfunctional thinking is going on, whether you focus it or not, our bodies start to react. Our bodies start to react because body is innocent. Body does not know that, oh, this was unconsciously thinking. I don't need to express emotion, but we do. Body does. And that's why we are victim of this dysfunctional thinking, unfortunately. So, did you see? It's a very important point which I'm trying to make. The dysfunctional or unthinkable thinking even make my body to react in form of emotions, and that emotions I will not have control, because like I do not have control on my thinking. So this is a vicious circle, that here my uncontrollable thoughts are generating and my body is reacting continuously, and this is going and support each other all the time, and that does not allow me in a peace. You know, the ultimate peace is when your egoic mind stops and your body emotions start to stop. Then you are in a calmness. We call it calmness, your default position of yourself. Now imagine that and think about, am I in this default position, or in any year of my life, or in any month or day in my life I was at default this peaceful position anytime? Maybe we never. Maybe from now to do you will, because now you learn this thing, you are aware about this thing, and this your awareness will lead you to achieve this state of calmness beyond egoic mind, beyond reactive body who is generating continuously emotion. That's why hormonal changes in our body is continuously happening. Why hormonal changes are going to happen? I even don't know. I'm not releasing my hormones, whether these are secretions from my gallbladder, from my stomach, from my mind, from my bones, from my some. I never have control on them, but they are happening automatically. You see how much extent we are uncontrollably, and we are defending I. What I? I'm speaking sarcastically again. No, you do not have control on your anything, and you saying I like a god. I do this thing. I digest my burger. I drink water, and it does. No, you just taking a piece of bread and putting in your mouth, and after that you don't have any control. So that is the thing so important, and we have to know this thing. And many of diseases or question, unresolved question, we will get to know with this. We don't need any surgeon or doctor for this thing. Many things we can do and we can manage and understand very well. So let's try to read further. I would ask Mike if you can read this, please, and next one para as well.
The emotional component of ego differs from person to person. In some egos, it is greater than in others. Thoughts that trigger emotional responses in the body may sometimes come so fast that before the mind has had time to voice them, The body has already responded with an emotion, and the emotion has turned into a reaction. Those thoughts exist at a pre-verbal stage and could be called unspoken, unconscious assumptions. They have their origin in a person's past conditioning, usually from early childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, please continue.
People cannot be trusted would be an example of such an unconscious assumption in a person whose primordial relationships, that is to say, with parents or siblings, were not supportive and did not inspire trust. Here are a few more common unconscious assumptions. Nobody respects and appreciates me. I need to fight to survive. There is never enough money. Life always lets you down. I don't deserve abundance. I don't deserve love. Unconscious assumptions create emotions in the body which in turn generate mind activity and or instant reactions. In this way, they create your personal reality.
Thank you. It's a great reading as usual. So if you see that these unconscious thoughts, um, like we have assumed already, they are stored in my mind, in my memory or something, they automatically control your body and your reaction because they directly connect with your emotions. And it means your body start to react automatically. And if you have a poor assumption, if you have a very vague assumption and very, very poor judgments and close-mindedness type of things in your mind, and based on your experience, based on your perception, based on your knowledge or whatever, then what happened in the current life, your unconscious mind will make decisions automatically when you are in certain situation or in at the time of event is happening. And then body and hormones in your emotions, hormones start to react, and that will make you in a state, and that state is called, I like this word actually. This word is used by Eckart Tolle itself. It's called drama. Then we create a drama, a emotional drama. Oh, what a beautiful drama start to come now. Hollywood or Bollywood or any person cannot create this drama, which drama is start to now, because that thing has create a reality for you, and you think that it is the ultimate truth you are experiencing. Yes, people cannot be trusted. Yes, nobody respect me, I know. And then you start to respond in form of drama. You perform this drama in front of your wife, in front of your husband, in front of your children, in front of boss, or in front of anyone which you trust apparently. That how pathetic you are, you know, and everything is supporting you for this deception. So how your personal reality make you a great actor, and we just acting based on my personal reality, and we think we are living by truth, we living by um, what is called proper truth. I mean, at least it is truth for you, and you are showing by becoming emotional in front of your wife. Oh, you know how I love you. You know what I did for you. Oh, you know this, and what did you do with me? You know, and that your all hormones of the body, your egoic mind, your deceptive assumption, all will create great emotion, and they were enough to play a drama. And this deceptive mode of yourself create a negative impact, or maybe the deceptive effect on your spouse, and maybe she or he will start to trust on you again because of this drama. Why we do these dramas? I mean, we are such a egoic parents, or egoic maybe children, and when we are standing in front of my parents or my children, we start to do these dramas almost every second day, and we try to make that, how much I love you, what I did to you, for you, you know and and you are not responding the way I should deserve, and blah 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 blah. And on the background, all this poor judgment is going on, and your body is supporting you, and your all emotions are supporting you, and you are great actor on that, or actress on that time. So this is the personal reality we need to aware about, that how we become victim of this. This drama will come also in next episodes as well. I'm not going in detail that how this drama starts. And actually, this drama starts actually, I just give you the hint as well. This usually drama start to happen when your partner, your wife, or your husband trigger your pain body. They hit on your pain body and you start to play this drama. And that all, then everybody has their own drama. And they are the own heroes and heroines of their own life. And all this, unfortunately, is false. Because all this thing is a result of my egoic mind, my ego, which is supported by my emotion, and with a storytelling in form of drama, and that's I'm doing now. And now I will do whatever I can do. So usually the poor people, they have also this drama as well. When they speak with some leader or politician, especially in a third world country, that poor people, they start to begging for the food or for money, for their rights, and they perform a proper drama because they have also ego. Yeah, and their mind is dictating them that you need to do this, and their body exactly support of their words, and their mind, the victim mind, and then they perform the drama to this. And all people, they do drama in their level, whether they are poor or rich or whatever. So I'm not talking about or targeting some particular group. I'm actually giving you a open awareness about drama. That's we do. So that's it. So let's go further, and we'll understand that paragraph I can read, and then we will go further. Eckhart Tolle, he further says, the voice of the ego continuously disrupts the body's natural state of well-being. Okay? Almost every human body is under a great deal of strain and stress, not because it is threatened by some external factor, but from within the mind. He further said the body has an ego attached to it. Body has its also only ego, has its own ego, and it cannot but respond to all dysfunctional thought pattern that make up the ego. It start to make up the ego, like we do makeup, like ladies do makeup, men they groom themselves, and then they start to impress someone. Here the ego start to do makeup, and the ego start to ready to perform a drama, and or start to deceive herself or himself. Thus a stream of negative emotion accompanies the stream of incessant and compulsive thinking. That's already we discuss about. Let's go further, and I would ask Cynthia if you can read it, please.
What is a negative emotion? An emotion that is toxic to body and interferes with its balance and harmonious functioning. Fear, anxiety, anger, bearing a grudge, sadness, hatred or intense dislike, jealousy, envy, all disrupt the energy flow through the body, affect the heart, the immune system, digestion, production of hormones, and so on. Even mainstream medicine, although it knows very little about how the ego operates yet, is beginning to recognize the connection between negative emotional states and physical disease. An emotion that does harm to the body also affects the people you come into contact with and indirectly through a process of chain reaction, countless offers you never meet. There is a generic term for all negative emotions: unhappiness.
Thank you. It's a great reading. So we are now at the verge of dividing what are the healthier emotion and what are the negative emotions. Negative emotions, I think, till now discussion, you know very well now, the all emotions which are generated by our unthinkable mind, generated by egoic mind, generated by a, a mind who is ready for drama, that all thoughts are negative. And that he's still saying that these all negative emotions are like a chain reaction. It uh, it dissipates from one person and going to the other person, and that person go to the other and to the other and to the other. So that is extremely important information which we are going to give about the negative emotions. And in terms of the positive emotion, let's go further. The positive emotion, if Sunny, are you able to read this positive emotion? uh, we can't hear you.
Sunny, are you on mute?
Yes. Am I reading again?
Okay, I think maybe yeah.
Sonny sent a message that he had to leave.
Okay, no problem.
Oh.
We can catch you, and we will see you next week. No problem. So let's carry on, and we can ask Jenny if you can read this. What is the positive emotion generated by ego?
Positive emotions generated by the ego already contain within themselves their opposite into which they can quickly turn. Here are some examples. What the ego calls love is possessiveness and addictive clinging that can turn into hate within a second. Anticipation about an upcoming event, which is the ego's overvaluation of future, easily turns into its opposite letdown or disappointment when the event is over or doesn't fulfill the ego's expectations. Praise and recognition make you feel alive and happy one day. Being criticized or ignored makes you dejected and unhappy the next. The pleasure of a wild party turns into bleakness and a hangover the next morning. There is not enough good without bad, no high without low.
Excellent. Oh, do you see that how this is the playing of the egoic? Even we are positive, but behind we are egoic. It means my all positive energies, which seems to be positive energy, actually not. They are actually negative energy, but in form of positive. And that's happened with all of people, especially the we people who claims that I love you. That is a beautiful three words we or somebody has say to someone in once or twice in a life, that I love you. But I love you, does it has ego if the other person say I hate you or I reject you, or 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 something, or even if you will not get respond or other persons also say, oh yes, I love you too, that love sustains. What about maybe you are in addictive love? What about if you want to possess someone's beauty, like you love a beautiful girl, yeah, and being a man, you have a nature, not all men, but as a specific man, you have a nature to control or to possess the beauty of a girl or a lady. And for that, you are pretending that I love you, and that girl, because of too much emotional and full of love as well, as usually ladies are, they are the ocean of love. Because of this innocency, they sometimes trap as well. And then when you get her, and you now start to destroy her, and you making call it love, although you in the beginning you call it's your positive emotion, but actually that's not positive emotion. That was the negative emotion generated by your ego. You will have a positive emotion when even that girl rejects you, even that girl or woman starts saying, no, sorry, I can't live with you, and you still love that girl, you still love that spouse, you still love that man or woman when they even reject you. That is called you love them. But how many times we have this emotion or this great feeling? Never. We Our love turns up and down all the time. Immediately it turns into hate, immediately turns into love. If your spouse is following you, you are in love. If he or she is giving you a tough time, or maybe because of some reason, you are start to hating him or her. It is just a clingness. It's a clinging you are. It is just a addiction. You don't love your spouse. You don't love your children. You use your children as your shelter or shield of something for your survival. If you really love your children, then your behave or your attitude will be entirely different without any condition. But do we really, our emotions or our positive emotions are generated unconditionally? We only, our body generate emotions only when we put condition. Whether these could be the sexual emotions, that could be because of your any egoic materialistic reason or condition, whether it you wanted to in the power and then you start to put a fake smile on your, as a politician or as a parliamentarian, or something, you try to deceive millions of people as a politician. That's we all do. We all do. And that's Eckart Tolle is making our eye open. Come on, man, open. Come on, man, get up and open the eye of awareness and look, see your egoic mind. The ego generated emotions are derived from the mind's identification with external factors, which are, of course, all unstable and liable to change at any moment. He further says the deeper emotions are not really emotions at all, but states of being. If you have a true emotions, that all belongs to states of being, where you belongs to, which is the emotional state of Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, God, or many great people on our planet. Emotions exist within the realm of opposite. States of being cannot obscured, but they have no opposite. If your emotion has opposite, then think that this emotion is egoic emotion. If you say I love you and there is another possibility that you hate someone, then this is the egoic emotion. This is the fake emotion. But if you are able to generate an emotion which does not have any opposite, that is the emotion of God. That is the emotion of your truly being. So you never care if it was rejected or it was not responded. You never care and even never consider this. Have you seen a person who never receive any response, positive response, and that person is continuously showing the love and the mercy and compassionate and empathy and blah blah blah? Have you ever seen? I know some people or few in current people current world as well. I believe that all people, including Jesus Christ, including Prophet Muhammad, including great other people, Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha, and all great personality, even in today's, who are the great Christian monks, who are the Buddhist monk, who are the Muslim Sufis, who are the Hindu yogis, or even who are sincere atheists as well, who do not believe on God or thing. They all may have this state of being when they have emotions, when there is no opposite. That's how you can identify that whether you have a fake love or fake emotion about something. You are the best judge and you can know yourself, because Eckart Tolle said they emanate from within you as love, joy, peace, and aspect of your true nature. This is our actually true nature. We are most loving creature and only being on the entire universe. But we have created anger, hatred, jealousy, violence, bloodshed, terrorism, abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, spiritual abuse. I mean, so much negative things we have created by our egoic mind. So, no, we cannot trust on these things. Only love, joy, peace, and these things exist only. All other things apparently look like they exist, but actually they all are deception. They all are creation of your fake mind. I give you just example and then I finish. And that example is a great by Eckart Tolle. And he gave you the example. I would I would ask Mike. He will read it at the end and finish it. But let me just brief this example. He says that one day he was sitting or he was observing two ducks, and both ducks were fighting with each other. They are flapping their wings and like they were fighting. Yeah, and it looked like they are going to eat or they are going to obviously they are going to win over each other, but after fighting both start to go in an opposite direction. Like now they are going their own way. Maybe they are the couple, maybe female or male, and they fight with each other. And then after fighting with each other and so much heat, they start to go in an opposite direction. And what he observed is amazing, it's a mind blowing. He says he did observe that when they went into the opposite direction, they start to flap their wings again, and that flapping were just like the releasing the negative energy. And when they were flapping, and as soon they finish flapping, they start to again come, and then they start to embrace each other. They start to live with each other again. They say our human mind should also be like this, that if we have a quarrel with my wife, with my husband, with my boss, with my friend, with my sister, with my kids, that we should stay away for a very short duration and release our wings, our negative energy, and come back. And they don't remember that, oh, yeah, they had a quarrel as well. He says this is a difference between ducks and the human mind. Human mind, what happens? Human mind remembers the last quarrel because of the memory. And that bloody memory does not allow me to make a new and fresh relationship with my husband, with my wife, with my boss, with my partner, with anybody, because of this bloody memory. Ducks does not have this memory. Therefore, both are friends forever again. And they never remember a few moments ago they had a quarrel. And that is a beautiful illustration which Eckart Tolle has given us in this, that how we need to manage our emotion. Just release them. I remember when 10, 15 years ago, I watched a documentary in which people in England, because it's too much cold here, at least 10, 20 years, it used to be a frozen London, but not now because of the global warming or something. But before that, people at home stuck, when they used to be homesick all the time home, they start to store negative thoughts about their household. So what they used to do, or maybe they are doing now, that they go outside away from the city, and they start to just fight openly with each other without any and they were doing some playing with sword, or and at the same time they are shouting, they are whatever they want to say. So they do release energy, from negative energy, from thoughts, from mind, from body. And when they come back home, they are just totally like a fresh people. So I mean, that thingy is like we behave like a duck on that time, and that's very okay and it's normal. But normal human mind is not okay. That bloody memory just keep you come again and again, fighting again and again on the same thing, until you make really destruction of yourself, or your other partner, your boss, or destruction in the company, whatever you do. The human mind is very egoic now. They never forget that thing. So this is the example which Stephen Eckart Tolle is saying. So I would request Mike, if you can read this and next paragraph so that we can finish today's session.
In the power of now, I mentioned my observation that after two ducks get into a fight, which never lasts long, they will separate and float off in opposite directions. Then each duck will flap its wings vigorously a few times, thus releasing the surplus energy that built up during the fight, After they flap their wings, they float on peacefully as if nothing had ever happened. If the duck had a human mind, it would keep the fight alive by story making. This would probably be the duck story. I don't believe what he just did. He came within 5 inches of me. He thinks he owns this pond. He has no consideration for my private space. I'll never trust him again. Next time he'll try something else just to annoy me. I'm sure he's plotting something already. But I'm not going to stand for this. I'll teach him a lesson he won't forget. And on, the mind spins its tails, still thinking and talking about its days, months, or years later. As far as the body is concerned, the fight is still continuing. And the energy it takes in response to all those thoughts as emotion, which in turn generates more thinking, this becomes the emotional thinking of the ego. You can see how problematic the duck's life would become if it had a human mind. This is how most humans live all the time. No situation or event is ever really finished. The mind and the mind made me and my story keep it going.
Thank you. It's a great reading again.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh,
Oh
that
my God.
is so funny. I was over here laughing at that.
Absolutely. But it is it's a reality. The ultimate reality is saying that if the duck has a human mind, look at the story. I can't believe. And that I was mentioning, I have just highlighted here, that we human, we create dramas. Look, if that duck has a human mind, that is all the drama script, and that we do every day. I don't believe what he just did. He came to within 5 inches of me. He thinks he owns his pond, this pond. He has no consideration of my private space, and I will never trust again. That's all scripting we are doing, and that's how we have been trained, unfortunately. That's Eckhart Tolle is saying we have to deconstruct it. We have to come back on our original state. And that he's asking and forcing us emotionally, that come back to my place, come back to where we started. And that's how he says that we are a species that has lost its way. Everything natural, every flower or tree or every animal have important lesson to teach us if we would only stop, look and listen. Our duck's lesson in this, what is our lesson? Flap your wings, which translate as let's go of the story and return to the only place of power, the present moment. Let's go to the present moment. Don't go with your past. So, but we do. That's the whole main thing. So, I hope that make you fascinate and also something great learning. Um, so we finish this emotion and the ego, the story of the emotion and ego. Before we started that thoughts, what are the thoughts, how thoughts come, then we started what are the emotions, how emotions start with each other, sorry, how the emotions start, and then we learned that how the thoughts and emotion with the help of body, they are in vicious circle. Today we learn about that what is the connection between emotions and ego. Next week, we are going to learn extremely important for resolving our pain body issue, and that is our carrying the past. We just learn about that a duck The ducks, they never carry their past with them. But human mind, wherever they are, they just carry their previous background experience. And based on that, they do, they react, they act. And that is a dilemma, that is a tragedy. We will try to understand next week what does it mean by carrying the past, what are the truly we are indulging in, how we can overcome and get rid of this. And that all will help us to removing and dissolving our pain body, and ultimate we will never have any pain, we will never have any um, tragedy in our life, we will never have any suffering and pain in life until we start to learn and apply in our daily life. So I thank you very much for joining class today, and let's meet next Sunday with the next topic on both sessions in the same class. My name is Marathi Bali, and I will see you next Sunday.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone,
Have a great week.
Bye.
Y'all.
Thank you, Meritib.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.